apart from multiple else if conditions which we saw in the previous video, we can also use a switch statement. Now switch statement also allows your program to take different course of actions based on multiple different outcomes of a conditional expression. Now the major difference, the key difference between the conditional expressions in if condition or else if condition and switch statement is that the conditional expressions in switch statement can be evaluated to string or integer, whereas in if condition or else if condition, most of the times we've seen that the conditional expressions are normally evaluated to a Boolean value. So with the help of this example, I'll try to demonstrate how you can exactly use a switch statement. So in order to use a switch statement, you just need to write a keyword switch, and then you have to specify a conditional expression. Now in this case I will just like to have some kind of variable over here. So the variable can be, I don't know, I will say this variable, I'll give it a name, operation. Now operation can be a string, operation, and let's say we give this variable a value of mean. So this variable will have a string mean, and this would also act as a conditional expression inside this switch. Now what I can specify underneath over here, different outcomes. So this would basically specify, over here I would specify the first outcome, and the first outcome may be that the operation can have a value of mean. So if that is the case, then I would like to execute this piece of code, and this would be nothing more than calling a function, and I would basically, what I would do is that I would copy, oops, something is going wrong with my, okay, so I would copy this variable which has this vector saved. So a mean function basically takes the mean of all these values, and then what I can do is in the very next statement I can specify the next outcome, which can be a median. So median can also be one of the possibilities. So I can say that if operation has a value of median, I would like to execute this piece of code, and inside this these brackets I can specify this other function. So this will basically calculate the mean, and if let's say it doesn't have operation, the variable operation has a value which is not a mean and not a median, then in that case we would just like to perform a sum operation, and that will perform a sum, and that's pretty much it, I think. So what I can do now, why do I have this extra? Okay, so that is closing bracket for that. And what I can do is I can say that output, so whatever will happen in this area will be saved in output, and then what I can do is I can output the output. So what I'll do is that I will select this all and try to run it, and what you will see is that it has printed out 175. Now what I'll do is that I'll try to explain it again, this whole program, although it's not too complicated. So these are the values which are saved. We've used this combine function and saved this vector into employee.text, and then we have given this variable a value of mean. Now in this switch statement, all what we are saying, so we have specified our conditional expression over here, and this conditional expression is nothing more than a variable. And what we are, so over here we've given conditional expression, and then as after this, what we have specified underneath are a few possibilities. So this is one of the possibilities. We are saying that if operation has a value of mean, then we would like to run this block of code, and this block of code is doing nothing more than just taking the mean of all the values within the vector. Now we are giving another possibility. If the operation has a value of median, then we would like to sorry, I just found a bit of mistake. Median, so it will be median, and what I'll do is I'll change the values a bit so that we can see some more difference. Okay, so if this is the value, then it will calculate the median. If operation has any other value, then it will execute the final block of code, which is just a calculation of sum. And whatever calculation is going to be done, that will be saved in output, and output will be printed out at the end. So let me just clear the console again, Control A, and I'll execute. And what we can see over here, that it has calculated the mean, which is 162.5. So you can try this, you can use a calculator and try to see what the mean is, but this value of 162.5 is a mean. Now if I change this value and say it's a median, let me Control L, Control E, execute, and what I'll see is 150, which is the median value of all these values. And let's say if we have a different value, if we say something completely different than mean or median, let's say we say test, and now let me Control A and execute. And when I specify test, it has given me an output of 650, and 650 basically shows that the final block of code is executed, because the operation has a value which doesn't meet the first criteria, doesn't meet the second criteria, so it executes the final line of code, and it has basically added up all these values, and we can clearly see that all of these values will add up to 650. So that is another construct which is widely used in terms of control flow.